What if I told you that the worry that keeps you up at night is the only real difference between you and the 1% who run this world? Stop. Listen carefully. There's a hidden truth about the elite, the 1% who pull the strings of the global economy, and it has nothing to do with their Swiss banks or their university degrees. The fundamental difference lies in a ritual they perform at the most vulnerable moment of all, the last 10 minutes before sleep. While you and I scroll through the doom-scrolling news or relive the day's stupid argument, they're in a secret command center, using the stillness of the night like a laser weapon. The worry that keeps you up at night, that mental replay of scarcity, is the only real barrier between your current reality and the prosperity you desire. And the reason is simple: your last thought isn't just a thought. It's an executive order. This order, this silent programming, doesn't just decide whether you'll wake up tired or energized, determine the speed at which your subconscious mind will overtake the crowd. Most people go to bed programming their subconscious engine with the white noise of failure, debt, self-doubt, the boss, frustration. It's faulty software. And, by design, they wake up with more of that same emotional bug. But the elite, the 1%, they've replaced that software. They whisper a single, powerful phrase. A statement so concise and charged with conviction that the subconscious, that faithful guardian that doesn't distinguish between fantasy and reality, has no choice. It must obey. Night after night, this phrase doesn't just attract results, it molds an identity. And when your identity transforms from victim to creator, wealth doesn't ask if it can come in, it simply walks right in. This is the simplest and most devastating trick. And tonight, at last, you're going to receive the complete instruction manual. Close your eyes. You are there. The outside world has fallen silent. The constant feedback from life fades away. The big lie we've been sold is that this is the moment when life stops, when the mind shuts down. The truth is, your mind has never been more active, or more exposed. That last hour before falling into deep sleep, into the delta phase, isn't the end of your day. It's the night shift of your morning. It's the silent workshop where your subconscious becomes the main builder, taking the emotional and mental raw materials you've just handed it and using them to assemble the reality that awaits you upon waking. Let's think honestly about what happens. People close their eyes and begin the toxic review, the mistake they shouldn't have made. The email they forgot to send. The bill that's due. The paralyzing what-ifs. Their last conscious moments are saturated with stress, scarcity, and regret. They are, quite literally, rehearsing failure. And then, at dawn, they wonder in frustration why life feels like dragging chains. Why do they wake up with a fatigue that isn't physical, but mental? They don't realize they spent the last few minutes of the night handing their inner architect a blueprint of misery, confusion, and fear. And the architect, without judgment, carried out the order to the letter. The 1% aren't more intelligent, they're simply better operators of their own mental machinery. They understand a law the rest of the world ignores: the subconscious doesn't distinguish between an experienced truth and a repeated truth. While your body rests, that part of your mind organizes, categorizes, and, crucially, consolidates the latest information into patterns, beliefs, and ultimately, automatic behaviors that will guide you the next day. Into go lamenting and anxiety come fearful decisions and missed opportunities. It's the law of processing. Imagine the man who has mastered this ritual. Every night, with the same discipline he uses to brush his teeth, he sits down and repeats his power statement. It's not a prayer pleading for help, it's an affirmation of his current state: I am the magnet of prosperity. My decisions are impeccable. My path is one of unstoppable progress. He repeats it as the last streetlight fades. He whispers it until the meaning of the words sinks into his very core. The subconscious takes this statement not as an empty wish, not as a "I wish," but as the new operating system configuration. And when the alarm clock rings, that man doesn't just get up, he gets going. His intuition is sharper, his conversations more compelling. His demeanor exudes authority. He sees solutions where others only see problems. Was it by chance? No. It was the law. He gave his subconscious the raw material to create wealth, and it executed the plan. If this is making you reflect on the software you've been running, if you feel this truth is the missing piece, subscribe now. Join the minority who design their future. Now, contrast that with the vast majority who go to bed sighing a tragic script: my business will never take off. I'm stuck on this salary. I'm too old, too late, too unlucky. He tells himself he's just venting. That he's being realistic. But his subconscious has no filters. It doesn't understand the difference between catharsis and command. It takes his self-pitying words and turns them into irrevocable operational orders. And so, year after year, day after day, his life becomes the exact echo of the prophecies of scarcity he himself proclaimed in the darkness. This is why most people live the same year 50 times and call it life. They spend their nights rehearsing the drama and their days acting it out, never breaking free from the cycle. The hour before sleep is the sacred crack in the logic of your mind. It is the only time when the conscious guard, the skeptical, cynical, and logical part of your brain, finally relaxes. It is the moment of maximum vulnerability and, therefore, maximum influence. The subconscious opens up, ready to receive instructions without resistance, without debate. That is why the titans of industry, the 1% who not only follow trends but create them, don't end their day with the random noise of the world. They end it with the precision of a sniper. They give your mind uncompromising clarity, and that clarity solidifies, night after night, into a new identity, ironclad habits, and results that seem miraculous to everyone else. Let's be absolutely clear so there's no doubt, you are already programming your subconscious. Every night. The only question that truly matters is, are you letting your future be built by accident, or are you designing it with intention? If your mind is fueled by late-night TV, endless scrolling, or casual complaints, you're allowing random noise to be the architect of your tomorrow. It's like building a bridge blindfolded, hoping it won't collapse. But if you take control, if you silence the distractions, and use a powerful statement, you're assuming your true role, that of architect of your own life. Think of Henry Ford. History credits him for the automotive empire. But the truth is, he rehearsed his vision, repeated it, lived it in his mind hundreds of times in silence before a single piece of metal existed. He didn't go to bed defeated by his past failures. He went to bed with unwavering faith in his goal. He commanded his subconscious to keep finding the solution, the design, the path to the assembly line while his body rested. By the time the world saw the first Ford, its inner world was already convinced of its inevitability. And Andrew Carnegie, the steel titan, didn't just urge young people to work hard. He instructed them to write down their defined primary purpose and repeat it aloud before going to bed. He knew that fortune is forged first in the mind's furnace. Brick by brick, belief by belief, until it becomes so real and so dense inside that it has no choice but to materialize in the material world. Turn on notifications right now, because in the next video I'll give you the exact formula for that phrase used by the 1%, and that's information that can change the way you think and act forever. And now I ask you with the utmost seriousness, what do you choose to build in your precious night workshop, which is more valuable than any factory in the world? Are you going to bed rehearsing scarcity, planting the weeds that will choke you tomorrow? Or will you use stillness to sow the seeds of the abundance, prosperity, and freedom you deserve? This isn't child's play. It's not magic thinking. It's aligning with the deepest laws of your being. It's the art of giving your subconscious a clear map, not a labyrinth. The fate of your tomorrow is decided at night. The fate of your life is decided in the repetition of that night. The only difference between a life of passive reaction and a life of active creation is the command you choose to give yourself in the sanctity of darkness. If you have a friend or family member who feels trapped in the cycle of failure and worry, share this video now. Allow them to discover the truth before their head touches the pillow tonight. Give them the power of a new command. Tonight, when your head touches that pillow, make a vow: it's not the end. It's the opportunity. The last hour gives you the key to the vault of your future. What you repeat will become your destiny. Stop rehearsing defeat and start orchestrating success. Fortune favors the mind programmed in darkness. Life is not a reflection of what we desire during the day, but of the final command we whisper in the darkness.